Hey folks, welcome back to the Gauntlet Runs, your best channel for narrative versus battles. Today, we're diving into a gauntlet run that's been requested time and time again. We're taking a being of pure, unadulterated power, a legend who sat in the heart of a star just to keep it burning, and we're pitting him against some of the most terrifying forces in all of fiction. Get comfortable, because today, Superman Prime 1 Million runs the gauntlet. Now, let's talk about the man of the hour. This isn't your regular Superman. This is Kal-El after spending 15,000 years inside our sun. He's absorbed so much solar energy that his entire body is a radiant gold. His power levels are, for lack of a better word, astronomical. He's the living anchor of the entire Superman dynasty in the 85th 3rd century. While many of the wilder claims about him are the stuff of internet legend, we know this for a fact. After his long rest, he emerged from the sun and, with the help of a Green Lantern ring, completely obliterated Solaris, the tyrant's sun, a sentient star that had just slaughtered thousands of superheroes. He is a being of pure energy, a living embodiment of hope. And today, he's bloodlusted. No holding back, no moral compass, just raw, untethered power. Let's see who dares to stand in his way. Our first challenger emerges from the endless, starless void. He is the abyss made manifest, the progenitor of a parasitic race that has smothered entire civilizations. Before the light, there was only darkness, and that darkness had a name. He is the creator of the Necrosword, a weapon that has slain gods and decapitated celestials. He is the king in the black, the lord of the abyss. He is KNULL. The battleground for this clash of titans is the corpse of a dead world, a planet-sized graveyard of shattered rock and crystallized plains floating in the silent void. Superman Prime 1 Million arrives in a silent flash of gold, his very presence a beacon in the oppressive darkness. From the shadows of a colossal crater, a tide of black, viscous ooze rises. It coalesces, forming a tall, gaunt figure with a blood-red spiral on his chest and a wicked, toothy grin. KNULL doesn't speak. He simply extends a hand, and the entire planet's surface writhes as a billion symbiotes scream into existence. KNULL makes the first move. A tsunami of black tendrils, each the size of a skyscraper, surges towards the golden god. Superman doesn't move. He simply raises his ambient temperature. A wave of heat, hotter than 1,000 suns, radiates from him. The front line of the symbiote wave vaporizes instantly, turning from shrieking monsters to silent ash. But KNULL is relentless. From the darkness behind him, a dozen symbiote dragons, each larger than a mountain, roar into the fray, their maws dripping with living darkness. Superman Prime moves, a golden blur that transcends speed. He weaves between the dragons, his fists glowing with solar energy. Each punch is a miniature supernova, blasting holes clean through the dragons' bodies. But the living abyss simply flows back, sealing the wounds. This isn't a battle of strength. It's a battle against an idea, the idea of nothingness. KNULL, seeing his creations are mere fodder, takes to the fight himself. He summons All Black, the Necrosword, from the void. The blade absorbs all light around it, a sliver of absolute emptiness. He clashes with Superman, and the impact shatters the very planetoid beneath them. Superman feels a cold he hasn't felt in millennia. The Necrosword isn't just a blade. It's a concept, the antithesis of life. It bites at his golden skin, and for the first time, he feels a drain. KNULL presses his advantage, his symbiote armor wrapping around Superman, trying to smother his light, to corrupt him from within.
But Superman Prime is a living star. He unleashes a solar flare, a 360-degree blast of pure, unadulterated light and energy. The blast is so intense, it creates a new sun in the void for a fraction of a second. The symbiote armor is atomized. KNULL himself is sent reeling, his form flickering. He is ancient, powerful, but he is a creature of darkness, and here he faces the source of all light. Superman appears before him, his eyes burning with the fury of a dying star. He doesn't throw a punch. He simply opens his mouth and releases a torrent of golden energy, a concentrated beam of the sun's heart. KNULL raises the Necrosword, but it's like trying to block a flood with a twig. The golden light envelops him, and the King in the Black, the Lord of the Abyss, is unmade. His scream of rage and pain silenced by the overwhelming, purifying light. Superman Prime 1,000,000 stands alone in the newly formed nebula, the last remnants of KNULL's darkness fading away. The first round goes to the Golden God. What a way to kick things off! A battle of absolute light versus absolute darkness. What do you guys think? Could KNULL's conceptual nature have posed a bigger threat? Let me know in the comments. Now, for our next opponent. He is the son of Odin, the Prince of Asgard, but he is much more than that. He is a warrior who walked the earth as a god when humanity was still in its infancy. He is a king who has seen empires rise and fall for over 1,000,000 years, battling celestials, cosmic entities, and universal threats. He has wielded the wisdom of an Allfather and the fury of a storm that can shatter worlds. He is the immortal Thor. Round 2. Immortal Thor. The battlefield shifts to the edge of a time storm, a swirling vortex of temporal energy where moments from the past and future flicker in and out of existence. Superman waits, a fixed point in the chaos. A figure emerges from the storm. This is Thor, the Allfather, at his absolute peak. His presence is one of ancient power. He carries Mjolnir, a hammer that no being in the universe can lift unless they are deemed worthy, a test of character, not of strength. Superman has accumulated power for 85,000 years, an astonishing feat. But Thor has 12 times that in sheer combat experience. He isn't just a god of immense power. He's a being of profound wisdom and unimaginable cosmic experience. Superman, brimming with the confidence of his first victory, unleashes a torrent of heat vision, a beam so powerful it boils space itself. Thor, with the calm of a 1,000,000-year-old strategist, simply raises Mjolnir. The hammer doesn't just block the blast, it drinks it, absorbing the torrent of solar energy without effort. Superman blinks, surprised. He unleashes his speed, a golden blur that strikes Thor 1,000 times in a nanosecond. The blows connect, staggering the Allfather, caving in his chest and shattering his bones. But as Superman pulls back, the wounds begin to stitch themselves together, flesh and bone reforming with a sickening crackling of energy. Thor's immortality isn't just longevity, it's a true Deadpool-level regeneration.
A good effort, Kal-El. Thor raises Mjolnir, and the time storm around them bends to his will. He subtly rewrites the narrative of the last few seconds, not reversing time, but adjusting the story, placing himself just outside Superman's path. The Golden God's next 1,000 blows hit empty air. The battle has shifted. This isn't about who can punch harder. It's about who has more control over reality itself. Superman represents raw, untamed power. Thor represents ancient magic and narrative control. For every galaxy-shattering punch Superman throws, Thor answers with a subtle manipulation of reality, a shift in the story that leaves the blow just shy of its mark. Finally, Thor decides to end it.
Let me show you what it means to be a Skyfather. He extends his hand, and the mark of Tyrannos, the very symbol of Zeus's power, burns on his palm. In a recent, legendary battle, Thor didn't just defeat the king of Olympus. He absorbed his power, his lightning, everything. He now holds 2 Skyfather-level powers within him. He reaches out, not toward Superman's body, but toward his energy. The golden aura surrounding Superman Prime begins to bleed away, siphoned off not by a physical attack, but by a divine one. The golden light fades, the overwhelming power recedes, and for the first time in millennia, Kal-El feels weak. Thor appears before the diminished hero, places a hand on his shoulder, and the last of the solar energy is absorbed. Immortal Thor wins. Superman's raw power, as immense as it was, Thor had an answer for every weapon in Superman's arsenal. Our next challenger is a mortal who clawed his way to godhood. He started as the world's weakest hunter, a joke in a world of monsters and magic. But through sheer will and a unique gift, he rose. He became a monarch, a king of the dead, a being who commands an army of shadows that numbers in the millions. He is the one who levels up alone. JINWOO's power is one of terrifying accumulation. At his peak, he commands an army of over 10 million shadows, including colossal dragons, giants, and his loyal commanders like Igris, Beru, and Belian. His personal speed is said to exceed light, and his strength is enough to shatter continents. But his most terrifying ability is his nature as the Shadow Monarch. He possesses a form of acausality, meaning he exists outside the normal cause and effect of time. And his signature skill, Shadow Exchange, allows him to instantly swap places with any of his millions of shadows, anywhere.
Round 3. JINWOO. The location is a vast empty dimension of pure white, a blank canvas. Superman Prime flew and observed the canvas, but a shadow quickly stands to his feet. Jin Woodraw's 2 daggers forged from the fangs of a dragon king. He vanishes. Even to Superman Prime's senses, he is simply gone. A fraction of a second later, 1,000 cuts appear all over Superman's body. They are shallow, instantly healed by his solar energy, but they are there. JINWOO is testing his defenses. Superman unleashes a wave of energy, but JINWOO is already gone. Having exchanged places with a shadow, he'd planted a universe away, only to reappear behind Superman an instant later. This is a battle of attrition unlike any other. Superman is a fortress of infinite power. JINWOO is a ghost with 1,000,000 bodies. For hours the dance continues. Superman cannot land a hit, and JINWOO's attacks cannot inflict lasting damage. Frustrated, Superman unleashes his full power, incinerating the entire dimension in a flash of golden light. But it's pointless. JINWOO simply exists in his own shadow dimension, safe from the blast. And when the light fades, he returns. And this time, he is not alone. Behind him, a sea of black rises. The Shadow Army. Millions upon millions of soldiers, each a powerful warrior in their own right, their eyes glowing with purple loyalty. The army swarms Superman. He is a god, but even a god can be drowned in an infinite ocean. He vaporizes millions with every pulse of energy, but millions more take their place. While he is occupied, JINWOO makes his move. He activates ruler's authority, a powerful telekinetic force holding Superman in place for a single, crucial moment. In that moment, His most powerful shadows, Bellion and Igris, strike with blades designed to kill immortals. The blades, infused with the power of death itself, plunge into Superman's chest. The wounds are grievous, and for the first time, the golden light of Superman Prime flickers. He roars, unleashing a wave of power that throws the entire army back. But the damage is done. He is wounded, and JINWOO is untouched. The Shadow Monarch raises his hand, and from the shadows he manifests a colossal figure of darkness, an avatar of death itself. It raises a hand to strike the final blow. But Superman Prime is not just a being of power, he is a being of will. He looks at the army, at the Monarch, and he makes a choice. He cannot win this fight through conventional means, so he will do the unconventional. He flies straight up, not away, but towards the ceiling of this empty dimension. He punches it. He punches the barrier of reality itself. The dimension cracks, then it shatters. The white void collapses, and all of them, Superman, JINWOO, and his entire army, are thrown into the raw, chaotic energy of the multiverse itself. The Shadow Army is instantly annihilated, unable to exist in such a chaotic state. JINWOO himself is battered, his connection to his power strained. Superman, however, thrives. He is a being of pure energy, and here, in the heart of all creation, he is king. He turns to the weakened Shadow Monarch, his eyes burning with the power of 1 billion suns, and unleashes one final universe-shattering blast. Superman Prime 1 million wins. A high-difficulty, reality-breaking win. That was insane. The final opponent. He is not a god, nor a mortal. He is a quantum observer. A man who was torn apart and reassembled himself, gaining the ability to perceive all of time, past, present, and future, simultaneously. He can manipulate matter at a subatomic level, create life, and erase it with a thought.
Round 4. Dr. Manhattan. The final battle takes place on a barren red Mars. The sky is a dusty pink, and the only sound is the whisper of the thin wind. Superman Prime 1 million lands, his golden form a stark contrast to the desolate landscape. A few feet away, a blue figure flickers into existence. It is Dr. Manhattan. Dr. Manhattan's powers are, for all intents and purposes, limitless. He can deconstruct and reconstruct matter at will. He has experienced his entire timeline at once. And in the DC universe, he was powerful enough to rewrite its entire history, creating the New 52 timeline by simply moving a Green Lantern a few inches out of Alan Scott's reach. He is a walking, talking law of physics. You are a thermodynamic miracle, Dr. Manhattan states, a being of impossible energy, and yet you are here, in my future, a blind spot. Superman doesn't answer. He has faced gods and monsters, but this is something else entirely. This is a being who can unmake him with a thought. He attacks instantly, moving faster than time itself, his fist aimed at Manhattan's head. But his fist passes through nothing. Manhattan is no longer there. He is everywhere. The very sand of Mars rises up, forming a colossal blue hand that swats Superman out of the sky. Superman crashes into a mountain, the impact shaking the entire planet. He rises from the rubble, unharmed but shocked. How do you fight a being who is also the battlefield? Dr. Manhattan appears before him again. Your strength is irrelevant. Your speed is irrelevant. You are a collection of particles arranged in a highly improbable way, an arrangement I can change. He raises a hand. Superman's body begins to unravel. His golden skin flakes away, revealing the muscle and bone beneath. He is being deconstructed, atom by atom. The pain is absolute, but Superman Prime is more than just particles. He is hope. He is will. He is an idea. He focuses his entire being, his 15,000 years of stored solar energy, and fights back. He forces his atoms to hold together, his will overriding the laws of physics that Manhattan commands. The blue god tilts his head, a flicker of something akin to surprise in his empty eyes. Fascinating. The battle becomes a war of concepts. Manhattan tries to erase Superman from existence. Superman, in turn, uses his sheer overwhelming life force to assert his right to exist. The planet Mars begins to break apart under the strain of their conceptual war. Manhattan splits himself into 1,000 copies, each one attacking Superman from a different point in time. He sees Superman's birth, his life, his time in the sun. He tries to find a weakness, a moment where he can sever the thread. But he finds nothing. Superman's existence is a paradox, a loop of hope that feeds itself. Then Manhattan makes a mistake. He shows Superman the future. He shows him a universe where he fails, where his hope dies. He does it to break his spirit. But he doesn't understand hope. Seeing that dark future doesn't break Superman. It galvanizes him. It gives him something to fight against. In that moment, Superman Prime 1,000,000 does something extraordinary. He taps into the one power that Manhattan admitted was beyond him. The power of the DC multiverse itself, the hope that binds it together. He becomes a living conduit for that hope. His golden light intensifies, becoming a white, blinding light that pushes back against Manhattan's indifference. He is no longer just a man. He is an answer to the question of whether life has meaning. Dr. Manhattan sees it. He sees the structure of it all. He sees Superman not as an opponent, but as a fundamental constant of this universe, as necessary as gravity. And he sees his own place in it. He could unmake him. He probably could. But he realizes that to do so would be to unmake the very concept of a hero, the very idea that gives the universe meaning. And in that moment of understanding, he simply stops. He says, "I see." He lowers his hand. The deconstruction of Superman ceases. You are not a man. You are a story, and a story cannot be unmade. With that, Dr. Manhattan vanishes, leaving Superman alone on the shattered remains of Mars. Superman Prime 1,000,000 wins, not through a punch, not through a blast of energy, but by proving his own existence as a fundamental truth. I'm speechless. That was something else. So, the final tally. 2 wins, 1 loss. Superman Prime 1,000,000 has not cleared the gauntlet, but he has more than proven his power. His journey through this gauntlet wasn't just about power. It was about the nature of his strength and its limits. He learned that raw energy, no matter how immense, can be overcome by eons of experience and a more versatile hacks-based power set. His defeat at the hands of Thor was a lesson. There are different kinds of infinity. The price of his power was 15,000 years of solitude, and while it made him a god, it did not make him unbeatable. What a ride! But now I have to ask you guys the big question. Who would you want to run the gauntlet next? Let me know in the comments below, and maybe we'll make it happen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next epic showdown. Until next time, stay super.